Look, I get it. A lot of you are probably frustrated with how close that ball game was against the New York Giants. A lot of you are probably frustrated with how the Green Bay Packers played in that game yesterday against the New York Football Giants. But I think we can all agree that winning that game was a bullet dodge because that is a loss that could potentially derail an entire season. Because you find yourselves in a division that is one of the most competitive in the National Football League. I mean, just look at the standings right now. We're 11 weeks through this thing, and the Bears are leading at 7-3. You're 6-3-1. You're in second place. The Lions are 6-4. They find themselves in third. A loss against the New York Giants changes everything for this week in the NFC North Standings. It changes everything if you look at the NFC playoff picture as well. Right now, you find yourself as the 6th seed at 6-3-1. You got the San Francisco 49ers behind you at 7-4. You're sandwiched in between the NFC West teams because at the 5 seed, you got the Seattle Seahawks at 7-3. And your NFC North division leader right now, the Chicago Bears, at the 3 seed. If the playoffs were to start today, you would go on the road to Soldier Field. But the thing is if you lose that game yesterday, and Gage, if we could put the NFC playoff picture right back up if you don't mind, you're not in the playoff picture if you lose that game to New York. You find yourselves on the outskirts of this thing at 5-4-1. Hell, you're not even a top 10 seed in the NFC if you lose that ballgame. And a big reason why that was such a big one yesterday is because look at what you've got ahead of you over the next 7 weeks. You play the Bears twice. Now, I still believe they're a little bit fraudulent. I don't think you should be that worried about the Chicago Bears. But you play the Bears twice, the Lions, the Broncos, the Ravens, the Vikings twice. You've got a lot of tough games ahead of you. You cannot afford to lose that game flat out because you do not have an easy schedule ahead. You don't have the luxury of having a couple games left in this season saying, yeah, you could probably go ahead and chalk that one up as a win. That was the Giants game, and you almost lost it, but you didn't. I'm just thrilled that at this point in the season, we are 11 weeks through this thing. We got 7 left to play, and you control your own destiny. Sure, you might be in second place in the NFC North. You might be behind the Chicago Bears, but guess who you still get to play twice? That's right, Chicago. So you still control your destiny when it comes to winning the NFC North. You don't have to rely on other people to do your bidding for you, to do your winning for you, because if you just take matters into your own hands, you can still come out victorious. Let me know. Are you enjoying your Victory Monday? I hope you are. These only come every so often. This is only our 6th Victory Monday since the beginning of September. So you better soak it in. And if you are, hit that thumbs up button and like the video. Another bullet dodge was the Jordan Love injury scare. Okay, I think because of how close that ball game was and because of what happened with Josh Jacobs, more on that in a second, and because of what happened with the other injuries. And, I feel like the Jordan Love injury scare just kind of was swept under the rug. I think we forget that he headed into the blue tent, and then after that, which usually it feels like blue tent or you're out for the rest of the game. Like blue tent and back or blue tent and you're done. Well, he left the blue tent. Then he went to the locker room, which usually, in my opinion, means you're probably going to be done for that ball game. And then he came back, played a really good rest of his game. Guys, we forget that happened to the QB1 on this team, to the guy that, in my opinion, has the biggest sway and biggest control of this team's destiny. And he spoke about it in his press conference, and he says, yeah, it was definitely not fun. It's just a small injury. Thank the Lord. So we'll reevaluate it when we get back. Look at it, see what's going on. But, yeah, it's not fun. And I feel like at this point, right, it is, excuse me, Monday morning, 10:03 at the current time of recording this. November 17th is the day. And Jordan Love is getting a lot of flack for yesterday's game. And I don't think it's right that he is. Now, did he have the most gaudy numbers? No. 174 yards. Completion percentage around 58, 60%. Quarterback rating, passer rating 105.2. Like, that's nothing unbelievable. But he played so much better than those numbers indicate. Guys, he completed 13 passes. And I think we forget that wide receivers dropped 6 balls yesterday. Imagine if they just hang on to those. He's 19 for 24 with a hell of a lot more yards. I can promise you that. And what I love is this stat, EPA per play, expected points added per play. Now, I don't take this and say this is the only thing that matters, but I do think it tells a lot of the story of a ball game that statistics maybe don't. And he was number 1 in the National Football League in EPA per play in Week 11. He's up there with Drake Maye, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Patrick Mahomes. All 4 of those guys are getting MVP talk, MVP buzz this season. Okay? And again, PFF grades, they're similar to EPA per play. They don't mean the world to me. But in a game where you've completed 13 passes and throw for less than 200 yards, to see a 93.6 PFF grade on that, that means a lot, in my opinion. It's the highest grade of his career. Surpasses that playoff win against the Dallas Cowboys. And I think we are forgetting that he's doing all of this with a bad offensive line, with injured wide receivers, with wide receivers in the ball game like Romeo Doubs, like Luke Musgrave, whose drops have kind of been rearing their ugly head. He's not getting a ton of help. He had to play the entire second half of that ball game, entire last 3 quarters, without the best offensive playmaker on this team, and Josh Jacobs. Jordan Love deserves a lot more credit than he's getting. Greatest season, A, B, C, D, or F, down below in the comment section. Let me know your answer, weigh in, and grade it for me. And while you're down there, I got to tell you about our awesome sponsor of today's show, the reason you're watching today's episode. It's our great friends over at Underdog. Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Let's cut to the chase. If you download the app today and sign up with promo code Packers Report, you score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Here's my Underdog lineup for Monday Night Football, Raiders, Cowboys. And I like CeeDee Lamb, but I think he goes lower than 6.5 receptions. That's a lot. I get it. He's like the best player the Cowboys have, but still, spicy, lower. I'm going to go lower on Geno Smith, 1.5 passing touchdowns as well. I think it's a big game for the Cowboys when it comes to running the football. Give me the higher on Javonte Williams, 74.5 rushing yards. Download the app today and sign up with promo code Packers Report. Score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Packers Report. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play. Get terms _DFS_DFS for DFS. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call 24/7-HOPE-LINE at 1-877-8-HOPE-Y or text HOPE-Y 467-369. The last thing is the Josh Jacobs injury, and I get it. We talked about this late last night. I'm going to continue to talk about it today because we got a little bit of a newer update. Not a newer update, but just a new update from ESPN's Rob Demovsky came out this morning, and it kind of just solidifies everything we were hearing last night. He said the early indication was that Jacobs' injury is not believed to be season-ending, a source told ESPN, but more tests will be done Monday, meaning today, in Green Bay. And look, I think this is fantastic news. You dodged the bullet from losing that ball game. You dodged the bullet from Jordan Love being injured worse than he was. And you dodged the bullet from Josh Jacobs having something and sustaining an injury that's going to be season-ending. That MetLife turf is no joke. Injuries happen on that every single year, and they have for the last decade. And you really dodged something big because Josh Jacobs is your best offensive weapon. And it feels like after the first 11 weeks of this season, your offense goes as Josh Jacobs goes. Sure, Jordan Love means a ton. But Josh Jacobs, man, what he does running the football, what he does as a pass-catching back out of the backfield, it means the world. Now, I don't know what it means for him going forward this season, right? Because what we know is it's not season-ending. They're saying. We don't have that confirmed yet. But I'm not sure if he's going to play on Sunday. I'd be a little bit surprised if he does. But as long as he's back for the final 6 games of this season, where you play Chicago twice, you play Detroit, you play Denver, you play Baltimore. I want him back in this line. Show him some love for me. Spam those 8s in the comment section down below. He deserves every ounce of support, every ounce of love that you could show him. So do it for me down below in the comments. And make sure, speaking of 8s, you can follow me on Twitter at JoeyPetersen8 and on Instagram. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Daily videos on your Green Bay Packers right here at the Green Bay Packers Report.